Hello everyone, it's a very, very warm welcome indeed back to BTV for season 22-23, and it's a match in the Vitality Women's Premier Division we're bringing you today. Beeston hosting near-neighbours, and by near I work it out to be 51.7 metres across the car park, University of Nottingham. I'm Andy Day, sitting alongside me is Jake Reed, and we'll be talking through the game together.
Absolutely, no, pleasure to be back, and looking forward to getting the season underway.
Talking about the season, there are a few changes ahead of the season, a few comings and goings for Beeston. A couple of the players are making a debut today as we look through the team sheet for Beeston. Also a couple of things to tell you about as well, about the numbering, because there's a little bit of an issue with some of the kit, so we'll talk you through them. So a couple of the new players who are playing today, Jane Kilpatrick making her debut, also the same for Lauren Dunn as well. So both of those, I think, are defensive players. What do you reckon they will add to the team?
Yeah, absolutely. They both come in with a rather large pedigree. So Lauren Dunn recently moved from Swansea, so she'll be familiar with this side, knows what to expect with this group. And Jane, likewise, well-experienced player, so they definitely bring something to the back line, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in action.
Indeed, international experience for both of them too. You'll notice on the screen we've got little stars by the side of Jane Kilpatrick and Lauren Dunn. It's not to delineate that they're new, it's because the numbers on the back of their shirts will be different to the numbers you may have elsewhere. So it's not Nick Moss at number 3, it's Jane Kilpatrick. And Lauren Dunn is in 27, not 26 as listed previously. So if you're wondering why are they saying that, that'll be why. Also, looking across to today's opponents, University of Nottingham, plenty of international experience in that matchday squad.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got some notable players in there. One who we definitely need to look out for is Maddie Axford, 92, prolific last year in helping them kind of gain promotion into the Premier League. Another player there, Claudia Swain, lots of experience, recently moving from Repton. And being part of that indoor side that competed so well. So, yeah, a number of notable names there, Andy.
Indeed, there's a couple of players who have stood out in junior ranks as well. 5 of the match day 16, I make it, played in both the Junior World Cup and Junior Euro Hockey earlier this season as well. So there's experience throughout. And also, they're coming off a terrific season in their promotion season also.
Absolutely. I mean, I was fortunate enough to catch a few of their games last year, and it just seemed that not many teams were able to keep with them. They certainly were fantastic, so they're going to be a real tough outfit today.
Indeed. Quick word then about our visitors. They topped Vitality Women's Division 1 North last season, played 18, won 17, drew just 1. They scored 93 goals in that promotion season and conceded the fewest, which was 17, ending them with a goal difference of 76 with 52 points on the board. That's a bit scary.
That's pretty impressive. I don't think there's many teams around that can kind of say that at the moment.
So as the teams are introduced to each other, we've had a quick look at the teams as well. Today's match umpires, Janice Tasho and Claire White, in the middle of your screen on the bright blue surface here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. This is BTV. Today's the first time we have our headline sponsor, the Magical Mushroom Company. They provide sustainable packaging using mycelium. So amazing stuff from the Magical Mushroom Company. We'll hear more of them as the season goes by. As Beeston in black, black and gold break. And to the right-hand side, we look a little bit further at University of Nottingham, which is the end of the ground, which is where University of Nottingham is actually sited. If you're able to turn a little bit further around, you'll be able to see the camera. So what I'll do, doing 2 jobs at once, is bring the music down as well so the players know we're about ready to go. It is right now, we are live, by the way, on Twitter. We are live on YouTube. We are live on BTV. Once again, I'm Dave. Jake Reed is beside me. Teams are set and ready to go. Everything is possible. It's the first day of the season. Everyone can win everything. And it will be Beeston to start the game. Signal to go, and there's the first whistle of the season. Beeston starting attack straight away, trying to find Lucy Livingston on the left hand side, who does pick up the ball. He was knocked out of play.
Yeah, that's typical from Beeston there. They will definitely want to take the game to Uni of Notts, as you would expect.
Ball in the circle, played in high and ambitious from Julie Reid, someone you know very well.
I do, yeah. My better half. She'll be excited that she's getting those opportunities in the D. She's a bit more midfield defensive player, so yeah, I'm sure the next one will hit the target.
First sight of University of Nottingham on the ball, coming under an awful lot of pressure from the word go. They do get a free hit from that. The familiar sight of Sophie Robinson in 17 being a nuisance. That's what has been a goal scorer. To be someone who does the dirty work as well, being that first line of defence, it's much appreciated by the rest of the team.
Yeah, and Sophie with that international experience off the back of the recent Commonwealth Games at Birmingham, she had good success there, so she'll bring that experience to the squad today, I'm sure.
Beeston move through the ranks, get the ball towards halfway. Aerial ball from the restart, bounces once, bounces twice. It's been collected on the second attempt in the University of Nottingham defence. By the way, we are playing in 17.5-minute quarters in this league this year. It is, as you were, none of your 15-minute quarter. Well, captain of Beeston gets the first touch. That took a little deflection off the stick and that pops off the body. Now we've got number 113 on that shirt. We need to identify who that is entirely. Rosie Stevens, that is. So we had Rosie Stevens as 28. Just adjusting my notes as we go along. This is as much as a venture for us as it is for you watching wherever you are in the world. If you're watching anywhere exotic, do let us know. Let us know on social media where you're following the game today.
It started with a really good tempo so far this game. I think both teams willing to take the game to each other.
That's close to being collected on the edge of the circle as well, so promising from University of Nottingham to go. You were right about the tempo. It's very quick. Beeston moving through the gears on the left-hand side again. As they get to the 23-metre line. Is there an angle for the ball into the circle? No. Checking back. There's the ball towards the circle. There's the University of Nottingham stick all over that. Play breaks down. Beeston free hit. Yeah, the pace has been tremendous.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, Andy, Uni of Nottingham coming with a great kind of goal-scoring record. So Beeston are going to be aware of that. Beeston are going to want to take the game to Uni of Notts and deny as many opportunities as possible. But Beeston as well have a fantastic goal-scoring record. So both teams today, I'm pretty sure we can expect goals.
35 goals in the season for Beeston in their 20 games. I'm sure that's something they want to improve. Looking at the teams around, the 4 teams above them all scored 50, 52, 36 and 43. So more goals, I think, if I was the magic coach for one day, changing more goals.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think how Beeston have been successful is their short corner routines. I know they have a number of different routines that they will try, so I'm sure that's going to be objectives from James, the coach, today.
And they have to be at that end of the field in order to make those penalty corner routines work. And into the circle, the ball goes, as you can see by the outstretched arms of the umpire. It's out over the base there. Restart. Beeston playing left to right, as we've said, playing towards the Boulevard end, actually playing towards the University of Nottingham, but that'll be computed today. University of Nottingham playing towards the car park, which is towards their home field, which again is really confusing. I made it, by the way, 51.7 metres from pitch to pitch, so I think it's the shortest ever away trip in Premier Division Hockey.
I'm hoping you've walked that distance out.
Unfortunately, not Google Maps has come into play. There's a nice trap though. Sunlight not helping things in terms of player recognition. It was Kilpatrick getting the first touch of the game at distance. Nowhere really to turn for the University of Nottingham, so backwards it goes. pinched in towards the edge of the circle, that one drifting through. Steptoe is today's goalkeeper. Just the one goalkeeper named in both squads, as far as we can tell from the match information. It's better. Out of our control. There's the bouncing ball taken down neatly. Millington, who runs forward, finds a pass. Things are breaking through the middle for Beeston. Is this an opportunity for a shot on target? There's a nice turn. Goalkeeper's had to be committed, but well mopped up, and the speed of the defence, very good. Speed again from Lauren Burrell, the captain of Beeston. Saw Lauren at the school games a couple of weeks ago, supporting the Wales side.
Yeah, as well as playing, Lauren's big into her coaching, so yeah, a fantastic coach as well as player, so again brings a lot of knowledge to this side.
Beeston, if they're thinking that was their ball, it's been turned over. Numbers from the University of Nottingham squad. I know it's a very, very difficult point in the season for university sides because the new players have only just arrived. How, looking like a settled side already, University of Nottingham, what more do you think is to come from that? Would you reckon there's maybe more additions over the course of the season?
Well, they're very fortunate, similar to Beeston in a way, that their ladies' second team are also in the National League and the conference. So they'll have a large group of players that will be wanting an opportunity in that first team, and those are the kind of players that we can call on. So it really helps having that second team in that supporting position as Beeston do as well.
Just watching the play. University have it, breaking into the circle. First penalty corner of the season at this ground. That was Maddie Long who was involved in that. Let's watch this again on the replay. Nice evading of the tackle there. It just broke kindly. It was Long.
It's a very similar opportunity to the one that Beeston just had at the opposite end. And I think, Andy, that's what it's going to come down to today. Which team will take those chances they're creating?
Clock is stopped. We have the first penalty call of the game. Just need to fire up the computer. Stats right. That's the computer. Plenty of candidates around the edge of the circle. The trap is good. It's played low and hard. That's booted away firmly for Steph Tyrrell in the Beeston goal, equal to that effort. It's still live though. Ball popping up all over the place. And finally, Beeston have possession. To look out. There's a lot of work done over that far side of the field. I know that Bede Bell, who had a fantastic season last season, was there. She's involved now trying to block this route towards goal. Beeston coming under a lot of pressure. You could throw a blanket over most of the players on the field because they're all in that corner right now.
That's some good defending there as well, deep in the Beeston half. Yeah, just a number of players around the ball there. Really good body position, nice and low, saying, I'm coming out with this and nothing else.
Into the 9th minute, and it's been very, very quick the first 9 minutes. Usually, sometimes these games take a while to get going. This has been good from the very first whistle.
Absolutely, I'd be interested to see how other games, first game of the season, end up as well. Purely because when you're in that first league game, you're telling yourself we have to go for it. We've got to score goals. We've got to start well. So I think you can definitely expect an end-to-end game today.
Ball lingering a little bit too long for my liking in front of Steph Tyrrell goal. Ball out was ambitious and at good pace, but no one was there to meet it. It's Rosie Stevens wearing 1-1-3 this afternoon. Second debut back from Belgium. And she she gets on the end of that. That's fallen kindly. Support is coming through the middle for Beeston. The pass is promising. It's been played towards the goal, and that's a very, very important stop. Lucy Brown, the goalkeeper, making a very, very important intervention. Good hands in front of the keeper as well.
That's a fantastic attempt by Rosie, and that's the kind of player she is. As you say, she's been at Beeston before, and for me, that was what she was known for. She's the kind of player who will throw herself at the ball and want to score that goal more than anyone.
Pre-season in any sport is always tough, and how do you reckon this is compared to previous seasons from your feedback?
I think it's been really good. Obviously, I'm very fortunate working with the ladies' second team, so have that relationship with James where we are talking about players, and his squad this year is far larger than last year. He has a number of players he can call on, so there are a number of girls who are unfortunate to miss out today who are fantastic individual hockey players.
Indeed, there's a couple of players that could have made their debut today who aren't featuring, but we'll come to that in a moment. Maddie Penman did such on the restart as well, to make sure everyone does get a mention in the commentary. We were saying earlier on the team was very familiar. They played each other in pre-season. I think it was over here 2 weeks ago, I think it was, for the pre-season tournament. So tight and even start is we'd expect it.
Absolutely, they played each other, as you say, just before that, where Beeston came out on top. But as you say, in the tournament that we held, it was a draw, and it showed what University of Nottingham are capable of doing.
Nice aerial ball, big thump as it hits down onto the blue pad. And there's a blow of the whistle. Trying to work out if there's any action taken, but it's just quite show the direction of where the restart should be. Jarrett with the restart. Jordan Homan is the player on the floor. University that's a nice ball, and unfortunately just miscontrolled by Rosie Stevens. Nice idea, really nice idea.
Really good, yeah, place in that space, get the ball in behind the back line, and look to get in the circle as quickly as we can.
Space starting to open up, Beeston looking to exploit that and keeping University of Nottingham at arm's length. Concede possession over halfway, and now the press starts to come, the pressure, winning the ball back at the first attempt for University of Nottingham. All very congested in front of the technical dugouts. Saying about how well the teams know each other in pre-season, there's a lot of crossover as well between University of Nottingham and Beeston in terms of playing staff, particularly as we're looking at the benches. Matt Taylor, the head coach of University of Nottingham, former beat, as well as also being a former mechanic player as well.
Absolutely, and I know what I recently found out a couple of days ago actually was that one of Beeston's own, Ella Cusack, in the midfield actually works at the University of Nottingham in their marketing section. So again, huge crossovers. They all know each other very well.
Into the 14th minute, we've had a couple of promising openings from both sides. The ball skips all the way through. We're using the multi-ball. Looks like we are. It's good to see. We've had a spell over the summer with just one ball, and that was occasionally difficult. Players had to retrieve it for the World Cup. Now we're back to multi-ball, and we're also back on the front foot with Kerris Miller for Beeston, trying to battle, trying to make a way to the baseline, held up illegally, rolled back to Cusack, who was just mentioned. That's a nice run. There's a 1-2 there. White. It's been a very, very good watch ball control, definitely there, we can see.
I was just about to say, as the you can see the ball patrol in action here. Obviously helps to make a quicker game, but personally as a player, it makes you run a little bit harder, I think.
Number 3, just a reminder if you weren't here earlier, that's Jane Kilpatrick, not Nick Moss. So Nick Moss is number 3, but Jane Kilpatrick making her debut. Transfer in from Belfast Harlequins. He's in 3 today. Just at the bottom of your picture, hopefully. Option. It's whipped wide of the post. That seems to come out of nowhere, that opportunity.
Absolutely, and it's another player who's new to the squad, Lauren Dunn, just finding that channel there to pick her forward in the D. So really good vision from her, and as we say, she's going to add so much strength to that back line.
Indeed, we were saying that it is a defensive addition, but so far we've seen 2 attempts on goal from defenders, so there's a lot of movement within this. The 11 that's out on the field, the 10 out on the field.
Absolutely.
Flicking off a body, a big ball of play. Beeston really pressing forward again, just held back outside the 23-metre line. Laid off for Paige Gillett. Ball into the circle, well watched in the University of Nottingham defence. Look at the pressure coming in again, playing an easy route out. There's a couple of players that we haven't made mention of yet for University of Nottingham, surprisingly so, I think. But it may be just that maybe they're not into the field yet. For Claudia Swain, because of the high reputation up to date. I've not seen her on the wall yet.
No, and as we mentioned earlier, she's a fantastic player. She'll definitely add something to that front line, and it's a huge goal-scoring threat.
Nice step in, and whistle blows. Just listening to the window for the umpire's advice. Got 102 there. Who's listed as 102? That's interesting. We'll try and work that one out.
It wouldn't be the first game of the season, Andy, if it was all right.
Yeah, new shirts, new kit. New kit may not have arrived. It's a nice turn, just keeping the ball away. Out of harm's way, 2 defenders though on to the circle, taking a touch just on the wrong foot to get the attempt to stick on the ball. Not just out of sight, you know. But yeah, just wrong footing the attacker there, just couldn't reach the ball. 2 balls on the pitch. The restart coming from Julie Reid, just waiting for the ball to get cleared.
That was a fantastic ball as well in by Lucy Millington there. She was a player personally I was really impressed with last year. Adds a lot of kind of attacking prowess to this team. Wants to score goals.
Just watching as the ball gets tipped up into the circle. What's the outcome here? Whistle is blown. I was watching the umpire closely to see whether it was going to be signalled for a penalty corner or possibly just a clarification. So I think it's a discussion between the umpires. Just remind you that today's umpires, Janice Tasho and Claire White, as we're watching the replay. We'll keep an eye out on the window as this discussion goes on. As the ball pops up, I think we've just heard the whistle blown for a penalty corner. Certainly, University of Nottingham are retreating, so it's a penalty corner.
Yeah, I think both the teams had a viable shout there at an appeal. The ball was in the air, but you can clearly see it had been played dangerous by one of the University of Nottingham players. So, yeah, unlucky from a University of Notts perspective, but brilliant for the Bees.
And also good umpiring. If you're ever wanting guidance, that's what your other umpire is there for, just to confirm, to clarify. As the clock ticks on to the 18th minute. Is that the end of play? We've run out of time, or is there still time to go? Essentially, it seems like a huge number of players around the circle. Very promising time to the penalty corner. There's the trap. There's a roll. It's wide of the upright. There's a player down. Page is up and moving okay, and I think that might be that for the first half. First quarter, even. No goals, plenty of entertainment.
Absolutely, action at both ends, and yeah, I'm still waiting for that first goal, and I think there's going to be several to come.
So just doing a little bit of magic with the PA system here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Good to see. Good weather. Things will change. We've seen that the incoming forecast isn't so good. So next week might be a bit different when it's the turn of the men on BTV. This weekend, the men are travelling to Oxford tomorrow. We won't dwell too much on the men because this is obviously the women's game. But how are the men feeling ahead of their start of the season?
It's been a good pre-season. Yeah, we've got a number of players joined us this season. Again, won't go into too many as there are several. But yeah, it's definitely a different looking outfit from last year. So I think it's going to be an exciting season for the boys.
Good stuff. So we've got the two teams getting their instructions. We can, looking out of the window, tell you that they're both in a horseshoe. Very intense pointing out from James Sordillo. We will hear from James Sordillo. I was fortunate to speak to him before the game. So with his thoughts on the season and the match, which is a quarter of the way through at the moment. Christine O'Donovan is the match official. She's wandering around with a stopwatch, making sure that everybody is adhering to the 2-minute quarter-time breaks. So I think we might be ready to go for the second quarter. It's been a very, very good start to the season for both teams. First 17.5 minutes. You set your stall out. This is how you want to play. Both teams looking like a very promising start from them. What this game is missing is a goal. Let's see if we can manufacture one.
Yeah, and I think the information from the coaches, for me, I would expect it just to be little tweaks, just about shape, pressing height, things like that are just going to give them that one advantage.
Across the face of goal, long corner, flicked away from Beeston defence over the baseline. Really good timing in the defence from Beeston, although the ball out. Again, wrong footing the player was intended to pass to. Philip Jarrett. The many under-18 players who've been training with him over the years.
Beeston very deep at the moment. You can see from their forward line in the own 25.
Standing quite still as the ball went through there.
As a forward, those are the balls you're absolutely screaming for, so you've just got to get somebody on the end of them.
The pressure, we saw a different type of pressure coming from University of Nottingham in the first quarter, allowing Beeston the freedom of that half. Now the pressure is coming further and further down the field, giving Bee something else to think about. Here's Swain, number 3.
Very good tackle.
Swain wins it back. Long stride over halfway. First time pass is good. Trying to find Maddie Axford, who has it taken away from her and concedes a free hit.
I think that was Paige good at there, just holding his strength on the ball, just showing experience to get your body in the way and protect that ball.
Nice aerial, takes a touchdown. It's fallen kindly though for Beeston. Look at the support coming into the middle. 3 players closest to it. Rosie Stevens right on the goal line. Umpire having a close watch on things. Not quite the purchase on the ball across the face of goal that was wanted or needed from a Beeston perspective.
No, that was really good from Keris Moore there in the corner to eliminate that first defender, connect Lauren Burrell, and it's just that last connection. So as you say, Rosie Stevens just asking for that ball back post to be played across.
Just breaking down the left-hand side player goes to Brand. We will be coming back for that. This isn't the first game of the season. The first one began at 12 o'clock. Clifton Robinson's hosting Oldham in the women's competition. Hopefully we'll get some information about that game. That should be done and dusted by now. So find out how that's gone in due course.
Yeah, 2 fantastic teams as well. Both teams are going to have to face and be ready for later in the season.
Looking at the first run of 3 games. As Jordan Bowman brings the ball forward and finds Swain. His first touch, Rogers taking it, bringing it under control. Here's Maddie Long, one of the new recruits. Huge shout of great tackle we've had through the window.
And that move all started with, I think it was Jordan Bowman, you said, and a fantastic ability to eliminate 2 or 3 players, I think, he took out of the game.
Previous goals attempted. Not quite going to plan. And look at the all-action effort from Paige Gillett. player of the season into a 16th season here. Beeston. Player of the season from 19 to 20. And Bucks performance player of the year 19 to 20 as well. She's had a bit of a truncated season last year because of that, I think there was a concussion injury.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately I put her out for quite a while. I know Paige was obviously devastated to miss a large chunk of the season. We're seeing today the impact she has on this team, so yeah, hugely missed.
It's nice, it's the right hand side, looking at low and done, away towards the edge of the circle, ball taking a touch, it's been kept in right on the baseline. Is there a foot there? Is there a shot towards goal? Neither quite happened there, but Beeston, very promising. That quick movement around the goal is very good.
Yeah, it looked like, I think it was Jess Hood there. I think she was still on the penalty spot, as it were, and just so close to finally getting the goal.
There's low and done again. It's fair to say, as a group, the Swansea team didn't have a fun time in the Premier Division. However, it was a learning experience for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah, they had a number of obviously Welsh international hockey players in the squad, so a lot of guys with experience, but a team like that, it just don't have the depth, unfortunately, so they did really well, but yeah, definitely taken a lot from that season.
Attempt to go forward, approaching very, very backboards. Watching Ricardo worse than just seeing unduly quiet, which is a concern for me. Having to go down that road a little bit later on. But our attention turns back to the traffic on the field of play. That's well held up. Trying to identify the player who is 102. So we'll try and work out who that is, because the feeling it's not to say just yet. It'll take a while. Play. Janet with
It's a beautiful day at Highfields, and it's great to see the fans back watching the game.
It is good. It is good. Everyone's welcome. If you're watching live, you are welcome to come down for any of the games. Just a reminder, so it's going to be Beeston regularly in the men's competition next Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's the 2nd of October. Everyone's welcome. Following that, it's return of Beeston's willing to take on Reading the following.
Another team new to the Premier League, but definitely not unfamiliar, so very, very strong opposition again.
But, incoming news about Tillybodsworth is 102. So yes, we've got it listed as 104. Early season player identification is past release again. Elegant move down the middle of the field. Now the challenger starts to come. That's a nice take on the edge of the circle. Defence coming in now, hand down. Plays the ball. Everyone sort of stopped expecting a whistle, but now a whistle does come.
I think it has been given. I think it's that communication you talked about earlier, Andy, that just checking with a colleague, and yeah, I think it's Maddie Axford on the ball there, 92. Again, we mentioned that she's a player who can definitely create something. Fantastic hands to cut back inside and just finds the foot.
Maddie Handel is the player penalised. Did take a little bit of a while to come to fruition. A penalty called up. There's a host of potential takers around the edge. You can just see Philip Jarrett, we can see Jordan Hogan, player in the headband, moving just to the left of the picture. That's a worth. Two Castles, edge of the circle. Now the likeliest takers, but it doesn't always go that way. Trap's good, it's low, and that's been saved brilliantly. And at the second attempt, is it able to be freed from underneath Steph Tyrrell? No. So another penalty corner is the outcome for that one. Brilliant work in the Beeston goal from Steph Tyrrell, the number one.
It's a fantastic save by Tyrrell. I think it was Jane Kilpatrick there. I think she was first to the ball. And again, really good reaction from the injection taker there.
Save from the stick was first rate.
Unbelievable save.
And yet Maddie Axford closest to it. Not a lot Steph Tyrrell could do, but that's certainly the highlight of the game so far for me. More of a routine, and that's not gone quite to plan. However, it's still with University of Nottingham. Is the ball coming in from the right-hand side from long? It is. Beeston shielding the ball away from any attackers. They get the benefit of the whistle. It's their restart. I was looking at the sweep of the handball. It sort of suggested it was a long corner, so I was hanging on to determine what it actually was going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about you, Andy, but I find myself, whenever University of Nottingham are getting in the Beeston D there, I just find myself crossing my fingers as I know what a goal-scoring threat they do have.
Game's settling down a little bit. That's a nice interception though. Just trying to get the ball moving around. So I'm saying the game's settling with longer spells of possession. Beeston pegged back though at the moment to find a route, and that's nice. Flick ball finds a skipping touch across the surface. Whistle blows. Who's it falling in favour for? Karis Miller was closest to the ball from a Beeston perspective. Looks like she's the player that's given away the free hits. Start. Pace from Swain on the left-hand side. Trying to go the long way around. Gillett watching. Gillett watching intently. Self-pass. Turn, slightly forward towards Homer. Homer tries to lift the ball up, doesn't get through the first defence. Speed on the ball, and the attempt at little flick towards the circle didn't quite come off. Anticipated well from Beeston. Look at his run. This is neat. Wellington holds the ball, shields it well. Pressure coming again from University of Nottingham this time. There, right hand side. Still with Beeston. Here's Kilpatrick on restart. Debut from West Harlequins. Turnover in possession.
I'm sure she'll love me for saying it, but that move all started with the carry from my better half, Julie Reid there. Really, really good speed, good hands to connect with Lucy Millington into the midfield, and yeah, just create something almost out of nothing.
Less than 5 minutes to go in this first half. No goals. But we have had a couple of presentable opportunities. Nothing in the draw marked golden opportunities yet, but a couple of presentable ones. And a couple of very good stays from Templeton as well. Pendleton with the restarts. Assesses the options. Not much on the left, there's the right, there's the movement that's just coming in. And he's probably the best placed to receive the ball back again. Should actually go for the restart. Just around the circle, takes a slip of the touch at the end of the stick. University of Nottingham. That was a check by Katie Curtis.
I think she's managed to get away with that a little bit there. Ball chucked a little bit too far in front of her, but yeah, as you say, that stick check there.
Just mention for Curtis, one of the 5 players who played in the Junior World Cup and Junior Euro finals in 2022 this season already. Reminder that England finishing 3rd place in the Junior World Cup and 4th in Europe. So a lot of talent again. Not trying to labour the points, but this is a sign that this is a very, very deep squad in terms of richness.
Absolutely, and they've lost a couple of those girls as well who were in that team. I believe Molly Mason was a standout player from last season, has moved on, and their #1 short corner goal scoring threat, obviously the current German ladies captain. So yeah, huge praise. That's the one. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember the name, Andy, but yeah, that's the one. And again, fantastic player, and this is potentially where University of Nottingham are missing that calibre of player. But again, still a fantastic outfit.
I remember Nika Lorenz from Initial back in 2014, so that's a huge long time ago. But Beeston breaking now. Is the pass on here? Maybe at the second attempt, support is coming out of the picture. Speed on the restart as the ball punched into the circle, flicked towards the goal. Karis Miller close to opening the scoring, and she was almost thumped the floor in frustration there. Really good, quick move from Beeston. Fantastic
Positioning as well. I think she just found herself a little bit towards that back post, so couldn't quite get the angle she wanted, but what an opportunity.
That's a nice take as well. Good spell in the game for Miller this. To the circle they go. Another attempt, this time on the ground from Miller. She's determined to get on the score sheet before the end of the half. 34th minute. Beeston now, University of Nottingham. You're watching BTV.
Beeston just seem a little bit quicker to the ball at the moment. Just finding themselves in possession in those crucial goal-scoring areas.
Over the course of the season, the 2021-22 season, I remember quite frequently saying Beeston along this first half strong, seeming to keep up that good habit of finishing a half strongly. There's a nice ball around the edge of the circle. Is there a shot at the end of this? These forwards penalised. A bit of confusion. Someone anticipating maybe a penalty call. Handle that one. Katie Curtis, the thick of the action. Here she is with a ball that bounces a couple of times, takes a touch, is confused in the defence from Beeston. Miranda Jackson moving it to.
Possibly a little bit lucky there by Jane Kilpatrick, just trying to find the foot. Fortunately found it, but just playing into dangerous areas there.
There's a long, hard blow with a whistle right just in front of us here. And just really parts of the mouth moments I think you were describing as earlier on. Just don't be giving it away anything as the first half comes to a close. A little bit of an anti-climax with no actual play happening. Beeston 0, University of Nottingham 0 is the half-time score. You're watching BTV live on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm Andy Day, sitting alongside me is Jake Reed. We'll have an 8-minute half-time break. That's the official timing, so come back, get your drink wherever you're watching in the world. And thanks also to our headline sponsor, providing some sustainable packaging. We'll have a think of what's gone on and come back with our assessment in about 6 minutes' time. This is BTV.
And those are the kind of players that can call on, so really helps having that second team in that supporting position as Beeston do as well.
Just watch the play. University have it, breaking into the circle. First penalty.
Personally, I was really impressed with last year. Adds a lot of kind of attacking prowess to this team. Wants to score goals.
Just watching as the ball gets tipped up into the circle. What's the outcome here? Whistle is blown. I was watching the umpire closely to see whether it was going to be signalled for pass release again. Elegant move down the middle of the field. Now the challenge is starting to come. That's a nice take on the edge of the circle. Defence coming in now and down. play is the call. Everyone sort of stopped expecting a whistle to take it, but it doesn't always go that way. Trap's good, it's low, and that's been saved brilliantly. And at the second attempt, is it able to be freed from underneath Steph or no? So another BTV first interview of the season. I'm with James Sordillo. A new season is ahead of us. How are the team feeling ahead of the start of the new season?
Yeah, really good. The mood in the camp seems really good. We had a really positive training session on Thursday, and just went for coffee this morning with everybody. And yeah, everyone seems in a pretty good mood and super excited to get going.
Also, just looking at the coaching team, there have been a few changes. If you can just clear a few things of that up for us.
Yeah, sure. Zoe Hainsworth tried to leave in the summer, but we managed to retain her services. So Zoe's staying on, which is great news as team manager. She's hugely popular with the group and does an absolutely exceptional job. So Zoe's staying in that management role. We've also recruited Andy Partridge, who's come across from Warwick University to work with the ladies' first team in an assistant coach role. And then we still have Gaz Aiken as an assistant coach as well. So just growing the expertise and kind of keeping good people is what we're trying to do.
Mentioning growth, there's a few new faces we'll be seeing today.
Yeah, sure. So Jane Kilpatrick joined us in the summer from Belfast Harlequins. She'd previously been at Loughborough University and played for them in the Prem. She comes in with full Irish caps. She's a full Irish international and superbly talented and highly rated across the league. And then also Lauren Dunn. It'll be her first competitive game for Beeston. She signs from Swansea, a really tenacious, good 1v1 defender. Really looking forward to see what she can bring to the group. And also just Rosie and Jess Hood, who have spent a little bit of time away from the club, but they're back at Beeston, looking sharp and ready to go.
With that in mind, what's the attention looking like for this game? Is there anything we're focusing on? What's your ambition for this game? Just get through it and get it under the belt, do you think?
I think we've done quite a lot of work on video, looking at Nottingham. We've played them twice in pre-season, had 2 draws, a 3-all draw and a 1-all draw. So both teams will know each other really well. Obviously, we're just across the car park. I think the big thing for us is kind of stick to our process, stick to what made us really good last year, but then a few bits of growth that we're looking to kind of develop this year and kind of areas that we want to really improve on.
Coming off the back of a very successful season last year, build on that. Is that the plan this season, or consolidate? What's your view?
So we've sat down as a group. The group have decided where we want to go and targets. They'll stay internal, but we're pretty ambitious. We certainly ended the season in a really positive way, and I think caught a few people by surprise. And we just want to continue that momentum. It's a massive hockey club. We're the only, northern as such club side, even though being in the Midlands. So we know that it's not just. We have a lot of weight resting on our shoulders. We want to kind of do the Midlands and the North really well in the Prem and prove that there's good hockey above the M40 and kind of go from there.
Thank you, Robert. James Sordillo. Good luck for the day.
Cheers. Thank you, mate.
back to BTV. The half-time entertainment has come to a close and we're about ready to start the second half. Beeston versus University of Nottingham's Vitality Women's Premier Division action from Nottingham Hockey Centre. I'm Andy Day, Jake Reed is sitting beside me. Hopefully you can hear that we're a little bit louder than we were in the first half. We tweaked a few of the knobs and we should be more audible wherever you're watching us in the world. Thank you also to our headline sponsor, the Magical Mushroom Company. You can see that logo at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. University of Nottingham starts there in the white, green and white with the yellow flashes. Beeston in black and gold. And University of Nottingham are attacking the car park end, or their home turf end, this second half. Beeston attacking the Boulevard end.
It's definitely going to be an exciting season, I think, with this new setup, Andy, with obviously 2 Premier League clubs sharing the same car park.
Indeed. We were looking and considering, is this the shortest away trip, excuse me, ever? And we're honoured to have asked the question to Colin Pike. So hello, Colin, if you're watching wherever you're sighted today. And he thinks, as it's just breaking down for University of Nottingham on the right-hand side, it's with Holly Nixon, ball carried over at the baseline. There may have been a closer away trip in terms of just watching as Beeston try and play the ball out of defence. They can't get it out of defence at the moment. It's going to come back from the 23-metre line. There's Homan playing the ball out to Adela Brown. And that's the end of that attempt down the University of Nottingham right-hand side. So this is, I'm just reading this as we're going along. That's a risky ball across the face of the goal, but it's worked out okay.
Not the ball you want to see very often if you're a goalkeeper, I think, Andy.
It's the wrong, it's the pace of that was a little bit terrifying for everyone.
A little bit, yeah.
That's a nice step in. I think Miller just getting the important touch. Aerial ball bounces a couple of times. It's Emma Stewart leaving it to her teammates.
And there's another player that I don't think's had a mention this game yet, but Hannah Grieve, been fantastic at centre-back, just helps to kind of pull this team together.
Beeston into the circle, takes a check back, shot on the reverse, and that was so close to the opening goal of the season. Really intelligent pause there, just in order for the defence to move and make the room for the shot.
Absolutely, and Nadia Banal there, really good lead to get in behind the defence, and again the smart decision to put it onto a backhand, just couldn't quite get that finish.
Beeston have been under the thumb a tiny bit in the second half, and then out of nowhere down the other end and form another one of promising and presentable opportunities in front of goal. And Beeston looking to press again from the restart.
Absolutely, and it's definitely an aggressive press at the moment. You can see Lucy trying to cut the team in half there, split the 2 centre-backs and dictate play.
Not 5 is the call, so the ball's left to number 3. It's not Nick Moss. Ignore what you're seeing on the back of the shirt. Number 3 is Jane Kilpatrick, again making her debut today for Beeston Hockey Club. Usually, Jane will be playing at number 8 in future weeks. So if you're compiling your spreadsheet, 8 is the number you need to be looking out for in future. There's the ball played into the circle. A bit flat-footedness in defence from Jowett, but has mopped up well. Just waiting for that ball to come in. Is the self-passing option? No, it's to Bell. Twists, turns, Bell involved again. Really good quick feet and good hands to move the ball out to the weight of the defence, and that's a penalty corner, first of the second half for Beeston, all down to the hard work of Bede Bell of Beeston. I don't think I need to commentate on this. You can just watch the speed, watch the movement, and draws that shot, draws the player in. A little bit of disappointment. I think that might have been Tilly Butterworth, who was the player that came off. I did see a 4 on the end of that number. Could be Emma Stewart, could be Tilly Butterworth.
Yeah, I think you're right, Andy. And as you say, fantastic. It all started with B and ended with her.
Good delivery. Powered in low. Takes a touch, and that is the opening goal of the season, and Beeston have taken the lead.
As we mentioned earlier, Andy, their short corner routines, they have such a variety. You can see at the top, they've taken a little pause. I can't quite see who it was to deliver that ball in. It might have been Jane Kilpatrick there, but takes a pause. As soon as that ball comes out to the top, has a look, great deflection. I think that's Lauren Burrell with the opening goal there.
Certainly taking the congratulations. We'll get official confirmation as soon as we're able to get it. One thing is fact, Beeston have the lead. So one penalty corner in the half for Beeston, one goal.
That's a fantastic ball by Hannah Grieve there again. As we say, she just pulls this team together. She can see things that nobody else can. She's a fantastic player and yeah, a real asset to the Beeston squad.
Taking a touch now. Taking a cue from your commentary. Fizzling out, but look at that use of the body as well to block the attempted recovery. A little bit lax there, letting a defender or letting someone steal the ball away like that.
Yeah, but it's really smart by Lauren. Lauren Burrell there, just smart enough to let the ball go, thinking that we don't need to play backwards, we can play the dead ball and look to play forwards again.
Beeston quickest to the ball again. Reed doing well with the interception. That's a very good attempt. Doesn't quite come off from Hogan and trying to play the ball off the turf and bounce it back up. Beeston into the circle again, right hand side. Onto the baseline, goalkeeper comes out, ball pops up off the body. Long corner.
I think they were lucky to get a long corner out of there. Not possibly the right decision there, trying to flick the ball over the keeper's shoulder from the baseline, but still gains possession.
Second prize isn't bad.
Absolutely.
Ball taking a flick, there's a flying player. That's Maddie Long, who's down on the ground, getting back up now and is all okay. Just a little bit of a worry when players take that a little bit longer to get up. Talking about players trying to get up, it's taken a while for a couple of players over there to find their way back to their feet.
I was just about to mention, yeah, it seems to be every few minutes there's somebody on the floor. It's just one of those games, I think.
This is a new turf. It was installed before the World Cup. Remember, we did the final game of the season for BTV here, watching the match over on the other pitch. You can see in the back of your screen. What's it like to play on this new surface?
It's certainly different to the last one. I think the benefit you had with the older pitch was it was bedded in, so it runs a lot smoother, a lot flatter. You can get away with your mistakes. For example, if you're slapping the ball around the back and it takes a little skip on the old pitch, it would tend to settle down. On this pitch, it's very unforgiving. So fantastic surface. If you can get it right, it really is quick. But yeah, definitely, I think the Beeston girls are used to it by now to use it to their advantage.
Katie Curtis taking the ball forward under a couple of challenges. Looks to get the restart from there. Skipping off. There's still a beautiful freshness of a pristine blue, universal blue all the way over the field of play. Those yellow lines standing out with the white ones as well.
It's definitely a great looking pitch, Andy. Yeah, fingers crossed we can secure our first league win.
Just holding up there. That was very, very sharp pulling up there. No suggesting there was a foul, but a bit of sharp pulling up. And there's another player had gone to ground as well. As you were saying, it seems to be every couple of minutes someone turns the magnetism up on the pitch.
Absolutely, and the thing I didn't say about the pitch is I find it personally quite grippy. So it's very strange that we're seeing so many on the floor.
University of Nottingham putting their stamp on this spell. Katie Curtis playing the ball in towards the circle. That's a really good stop of the ball outside of the circle. Attempting give and go, trying to find Lauren Burrell, the captain. Doesn't come off. This is Butterworth now. flicks the ball inside. Nice idea.
Possession beginning to change hand quite frequently now. Just seem to notice that neither team can really string 3, 4, 5 passes together at the moment. It's a lot of double turnover.
Holly Nixon was the player who was the intended recipient of that pass. But nice use of the angles as well. It's not one-dimensional from either of these sides as well, which is occasionally the way early in the season.
Absolutely. Sometimes direct is the best way, but I don't think either of these teams were going to allow that as an option today. So, yeah, great to see them kind of trying to play intricate patterns.
Ball played up towards the body, but play allowed to continue. Ball going off into the sun, into the distance, so where it's let you into the secrets of television. I can barely see through the window because it's so sunny what's going on, and also the players are in shadow on the screen in front of me, so it's very difficult to describe what's going on. However, the ball is now to the left-hand side of the field. Nice, clean sight lines for Maddie Pendle to play the ball backwards. Grieve trying to string those passes together you were speaking about earlier on, trying to get that possession together. Make a few links as the ball does travel all the way over the line, but more coherent couple of moments for Beeston.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Hannah Grieve there just spraying the ball left and right. She's definitely a player you want to get just outside the 25, that we can start delivering those more direct balls into the D. I know the forwards love jumping on the end of them, so yeah, if we can get her in those kind of areas, I think she'll really be dangerous.
This game has flown by. 47th minute, Beeston lead. 1-0. We're still waiting for official confirmation of that goal scorer. We think it was Lauren Burrell, but we'll get confirmation. It looks like we have got official confirmation of that. Risky ball forward. That does go out for a sideline ball. That's not the worst place for the ball to go out, really.
Absolutely not, and we can just see out the window here that the entire Beeston team are moving up the field. So trying to.
In fact, look at that. That's confused the University of Nottingham players who thought it went out over the baseline when it didn't.
All the way in the corner. The best possible outcome for Beeston there. You can see ball patrol ready.
This is where it should have been taken from. So it's not quite that time in the game, but valuable second shaved off the match clock too.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think Beeston obviously did well to slow down play there, but you'd like to see Beeston keep that ball in the corner, try and gain possession, enter the circle, and make that attack come to something.
One goal, it doesn't feel like it's enough.
No, absolutely. I think you're right. In a game like this, where the teams both know each other, both teams have some fantastic forwards who can create something out of nothing. So both teams just got to be on form today to make sure that there isn't those pockets of space opening up for goals.
Inviting a challenge, and it has gone the way of the visitors. Pressing towards the 23-metre line on the reverse side, bouncing ball towards the circle. Is that been kept in? That's an attempted ball towards goal. That was really a last-ditch attempt to keep the ball in play rather than have a shot, but it looked like a shot from him.
Absolutely, and I think I don't want to jinx it, but obviously Steph Tyrrell's had quite a quiet quarter so far, which is good to see. I think University of Nottingham haven't really managed to kind of develop anything towards goal at the moment, so yeah, it's credit to the Beeston defensive line at the moment.
There's an attempted ball and a sliding attempt to knock the ball in at the far post. Nice idea.
Absolutely, yeah, I think that ball in there, Lucy Millington, she's the kind of player who wants to deliver those balls, has the potential to create something again at goal, and yeah, really unlucky to not get on the end of that.
Was that Miller who was sliding in? I think it may have been. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, yeah, Keris Miller there, just missing out.
That's twice she's been at full length in the circle. I remember in the first half she did something similar, just trying to get on the end of a ball coming through. So it must be something that's been worked on. Space in the middle for Hogan. He gives the ball away, and Beeston ball into the circle. That's a great run. However, it has been stopped by Beautifully timed challenge in the middle of the field. However, the forward ball trying to find Eliza Wheeler doesn't come off, some way away from the intended recipient.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to put my coach's hat on there, and you win the ball that high up in the pitch, that ball has to get off the end of your stick. You have to look to connect with that next line, get in behind the defenders, and you create a fantastic opportunity to put yourselves 2-0 up.
The intensity has crept back into the game again. The speed, I'm not saying it's dropped dramatically, but it did drop. Now it seems to have picked back up again. You can sense that University of Nottingham feel that the longer the game goes without a goal, the more and more intense the pressure will come from the visitors.
Absolutely, and I think you can begin to see pockets of space opening up in the midfield here. So it seems that the game's stretching, which is natural in the second half, and especially early on.
Beeston get the benefit of the whistle, and we'll go from 16 metres or so. Next break is three-quarter time coming when the clock reaches 52 and 30. 2 more minutes for the players to presumably take on drinks as well as instruction today, because it looks quite warm out there.
It is deceptively quite warm, yeah. Driving into work this morning, pretty chilly, but it definitely does warm up throughout the day at the moment.
Midfield stalemate at the moment. The ball not really getting 10 metres either side of the halfway line. Beeston though do have it. It looks as if they were going to go quickly, but allowing the University of Nottingham defenders to take their defensive positions, wipe a few more valuable seconds off the clock. It doesn't gain any advantage, but very close to running through. Who's been kept in there? It has been a Beeston ball played in, and that was really neatly taken. However, ultimately it is a penalty corner, second of the quarter for Beeston, and this looks like it could be the final action of the quarter as well. So let's just see what happened here. There was a bit of confusion as the ball bobbled around. The ball was going to be left to run out of play, but the ball was picked up, and I think just the tangling of the sticks there was enough for the umpire.
Yeah, absolutely. It was that ball from Hannah Grieve again. Didn't quite get where she wanted it to go, but Beeston again, first to the ball, just showing the desire to get on the end of it.
Grieve is there. I think I see Millington as well. That is the whistle to signal the end of the quarter, so support is appearing out of your picture now. You can see it just coming in into picture. So a whole team to choose from. Can Beeston make it count? That's a nice routine. That's been turned in for the second of the game. Fantastic routine and delightful, delightful finish. 2-0. Rosie Stevens looks to have been credited. Let's talk me through this one.
Yeah, another short corner routine. You can see here they've decided to go back to the injector. Injector's had so much time. The keeper's come across really well to deny that first shot from the injector, but Rosie Stevens there gets herself in a fantastic low position. Easy tap in. What a finish.
I was saying that one goal wasn't enough. Now we have two on the board. Beeston lead University of Nottingham by 2-0. We'll have a quarter-time break, and when we return we'll have the final 17.5 minutes. This is BTV, thanks to our headline sponsor, the Magical Mushroom Company. You can see on your screen it's Beeston 2, University of Nottingham 0. Teams are about set for the second half. The music has been stopped and the teams are the ones now providing entertainment. And Beeston, would it be fair to say they deserve a 2-goal lead? There have been very good finishes, but I'm not convinced there's been 2-goal difference between the two teams.
Absolutely, and I think it's all come from the second half, Andy. I think Beeston have stepped up their intensity, or at least maintained it. I think University of Nottingham have begun to drop off a little bit, as we mentioned earlier. Pockets are beginning to open, Beeston are beginning to recognise where they are, and they've been credited with the goals that, to be honest, in the second half they deserve.
So this is a side, Beeston, that finished 5th place in the league, 27 points last time out, 8 wins under their belt. They scored 35 goals in their 20 games, so it doesn't take you a great, huge amount to say. Goals are not exactly flowing last season, but 2 goals today, good start to the season. Conversely, University of Nottingham, goals galore in the season that's just gone by. No goals yet today. Obviously, still early days. There's still virtually an entire quarter to play. But does that indicate that there's a difference in standard between Division 1 and the Premier Division?
I would say so. I think my understanding and my experience of the two leagues would be that the Premier League is just a little bit quicker. You're going to face a sharper, a more precise opposition in the Premier League, whereas in the Division 1 below, you get a little bit more opportunity, not as much of a challenge, but again, to take no credit away from University of Nottingham, they've played fantastic last season and they deserve to be where they are right now. I would just say that Beeston have the opportunity to score, have that potential. They're used to playing at Premier League standard. University of Nottingham, they're getting used to it. It's their first game.
What a great take from Sophie Robinson, who takes it away from her opposite number, and there's an intelligent ball to the left-hand side of the circle. This turn towards goal, it's been blocked from Lucy Brown in the University of Nottingham goal. Fluid hockey movement.
Really good hockey, and I think it was Ella Cusack there, just found herself with a lot of time on the ball, but thinking that she had to get that deflection away quickly. I think she could have just taken it across her body and possibly taken it around the keeper, but really good.
Butterworth plays it towards Nixon. Grieve then gets the touch, and Beeston calmly bring it towards halfway, but immediate loss of possession from both sides. Beeston back with it, number 5. Anna Cusack. Pressure, as we were speaking about, intensity coming, and does tell as Cusack doesn't control it first time. Ball flicking off the stick. Restart. Curtis takes it, looking to find the angle. Axford has the ball taken off her. Nice turn from Miller. Miller looking for a first-time ball. The first-time ball is brought under control from Stevens, who goes to ground, and that's a really, really good tackle. Stevens had a huge amount of time.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic ball. I think Rosie Stevens there, just getting to the ball first, showing her pace. I think that first touch just let her down a little bit, and as you say, she had that time to get that shot away. Just need to take the ball under control. Movement
in the circle, a little bit of pinball. That's the shot and that's the goal. University of Nottingham score their first ever goal in the Premier Division. Axford is the player who scored it.
As we mentioned earlier, Maddie Axford, what a player, has the ability to eliminate. If you put her in a one-on-one position, I sure would not want to be that defender. Great hands here to eliminate, onto the backhand. What a strike.
A little bit of shoulder to shoulder just to force the way through. And there's, for the history books, the first ever Premier Division goal for University of Nottingham.
And for me, it's a player who you would expect to be on the score sheet today. So, yeah, credit to Maddie there.
Maddie Axford scored 3 goals across the 2 tournaments, Junior World Cup and Junior Euro Hockey Finals early this year. So goals at high level is her trade. Beeston's lead reduced by 1 and turned in and stopped on the goal line. Unbelievable stop and calmness in front of goal from the University of Nottingham defence.
I'm not sure how much the defender knew about that one, Andy. That was a brilliant stop on the line. Kerris did really well there. Kerris Miller, number 6, to just get that shot early, put it back on target. It's really unlucky for the Bees.
What Beeston don't want is a very intense final 10 minutes or so. They want them to be able to ride it out and control the game, and that's not what they have right now. And how much of a boost would that be to get that goal for University of Nottingham?
Absolutely, and I think this is where Beeston have really got to be careful. You have to remember, you're playing a university side. They're very fit, their endurance is strong, so you've just got to be careful not to be caught on the break and pushing too high. And I think that's pretty much how the University of Nottingham goal has come about, really.
You were saying about the fitness, it's not just the Premier Division that University of Nottingham playing, it's also the Bucks Women's Premier in the National Division as well, so top division hockey all round, twice a week in most cases as well.
Absolutely, just thinking back to my university days, you would play hockey pretty much every day or be training.
Promising opportunity, foot of the goalkeeper Lucy Brown at the right place at the right time.
Very good save there by the University of Nottingham keeper.
Apologies if I've got the wrong Lucy Brown here, but my research I think suggests that this is Scotland under-17 and under-18 international Lucy Brown, of formerly of Mary Erskine School and Gordonians as well. Depth of research showing here, she's got a dog called Tess.
That is pretty in-depth.
That is in depth. That's what I've been doing all week. But yeah. Curtis with a self-pass and the sweep of the ball back towards halfway. University of Nottingham looking to impose themselves on the final 10 minutes of the game, which we're about to enter. Whistle blows. Beeston thought it was their ball briefly. Crunch ball, takes a couple of skips and Beeston have possession again. Millington runs into trouble. Thought about taking the free hit quickly, leaves it for the aerial ball forward, takes a bounce, takes another bounce. This could work out well for Beeston. Oh, that was a nice ball in from Lauren Burrell, just couldn't get the deflection towards goal there. I think the ball deserved.
Yeah, and I think that was Kerris Miller there, just potentially overran that a little bit, or the ball wasn't quite put where she wanted it, just that little bit miscommunication.
But that said though, University of Nottingham had the final touch on that, so it could have been taken off the stick at the critical moment. Beeston have the ball where they want it, but not for long. Just getting her feet right, Holly Nixon. Nudged over the sideline. 9 nervy minutes to play. Although calmness personified is Hannah Grieve. Whistle blows. Looks like it's gone the way of Beeston.
Potentially a little bit lucky there. Don't think Maddie Pendle wanted to be caught in that position. Just ended up finding herself there, but did really well to win the foul.
Settled side, more or less, from the match day 16 that we're seeing today. There are 4 additions for Beeston today. So it's a second debut for Jess Hood and Rosie Stevens. First debuts for Jane Kilpatrick and Lauren Dunn, who've looked part of the setup like they've been in it for years.
Absolutely. In particular, I think Lauren Dunn has been fantastic today. She wants to play forward, but she's doing her defensive duty. She's solid on the ball. So, yeah, I'm really impressed with Lauren today.
Also a word for a couple of players who've departed. We say cheerio to Alice Huddleston, Lottie Summers and Martha Lawrence, who've gone on to pastures new.
3 fantastic players for Beeston and were huge parts of the squad last year.
Maddie Long earns the free hit, leaves it to Homan. Homan spreads it wide to Curtis. Curtis is ball forward. Back stick. Ball into the circle. Flicked up in the air. Is that dangerous? No, not in the view of the umpire. Ball flicking up off the foot. Good to hear the support. Hopefully that's being picked up on the microphones and you can hear wherever you are. The atmosphere that's building here. Turn into the circle, shooting opportunity, not yet. Good block, anticipating the ball coming through on the spin.
I mean, look at the number of Beeston players around that ball there, Andy. Just
also the calmness as well to get the ball out from that position, moving the ball quickly. That one.
that is
Real
really well
intensity, really good stuff. Jess Hood is the player, credit for that. Ball roll back to Rosie Stevens, who instead of goes into traffic, decides to roll the ball back. More game management, calm things down, longer strings of possession passes.
See, I don't mind that. I think that's really smart from those guys going forward there. Jess Hood rolling it back to Rosie Stevens, keep possession, and just make University of Nottingham move. They've got to come to you.
Being awkward is, I think, an underrated aspect as the ball comes up off the stick. That's Beeston free hit outside the circle. Being a nuisance, I think it's underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just have to play what's in front of you. I think many teams will go in wanting to get every single opportunity into the circle, but it's just reading the game, and I think that was really, really smart by the girls there.
Pendle plays the ball into the corner. Look at that take. Look where the ball is. Not quite bring the ball into the corner time just yet, but that has fallen well. Nice take in the air though from Maddie Axford, just trying to bring the ball under her spell. Seen that quite a few times from several of the University of Nottingham players. When they're bringing the ball under control, it's hammered down into the ground, out of the air.
Absolutely, and I think it is just it's potentially what they're taught, what they're coached, and as you say, there's a number of internationals in here, so it could be at that top level. I know I've played alongside some boys who are taught to do that, get the ball on the floor as quickly as possible, and yeah, I think it will pay dividend in the end.
Into the final 5, long corner for University of Nottingham. There's a drifting ball all the way across the defence, and I think there might have been a bit of a communication breakdown in the middle of all of that. There's the ball turned close to goal. It only takes a second to score a goal.
Absolutely, and I've still got my fingers crossed, Andy, every time that ball goes in the defensive D, but Beeston have proved me wrong every time. It's been a really good defensive effort today.
Whilst we were speaking earlier on, I was looking at my player list, and there was a player that I don't recall seeing yet in the game, but I'm sure she must have been there. Now we can see her at the bottom of your picture. It's Merlin Knobloch of Darmstadt, Germany, one of the German junior internationals, under 16. Played at Mannheimer, also at Old Dominion University in America.
I think, as you said, Andy, just the calibre of player the University of Nottingham have.
There was that played onto a foot. That was good timing to get the feet out of the way in the Beeston defence. Pressure coming though. That's a good step. And taking the ball out of harm's way. There's only one place this is going now, into the corner, surely. And look at the pace on that. Is it going to be kept in? That is unbelievable effort. Oh, and that's even better. And that could have been better still. Lucy Brown involved. That could have been a goal-scoring opportunity, but was the sensible play there. Keep the ball in the corner.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that was a fantastic ball by, as you mentioned earlier, the debutant, Jane Kilpatrick there. great ball. Sophie Robinson, you know she's going to get on the end of those kind of balls, and the ability to eliminate from those positions, fantastic. It's what she's all about. So really unfortunate not to get something else out of that, but Beeston have dealt with the ball well and are back in control.
I think we can do that because we're live. Who is your player of the match? This doesn't attract an award, by the way, but just who's your player of the match?
For me, there's multiple nominees, but for me, I think I've got to give it to Lucy Millington today. Slightly quieter second half, but for me, she got the game going. She brought the game to University of Nottingham through her elimination, her connection in the midfield line, trying to connect with those forwards, and really, as I say, take the game to University of Notts.
Really good work around the edge of the circle, trying to move the Beeston defence around this way and that. Won't mention again Knobloch of Germany around the edge of the circle. And look at the pressure from the restart. Less than 2 minutes remain. I can feel that there's going to be one more chance in this game somewhere along the line. Curtis. Only one direction, one thought in her mind is to get the ball forward, and that is exactly what's happened. It's gone forward by Butterworth. Penalty corner.
I think that's unlucky there for Beeston. You see here, I think tired legs were telling. Some players just weren't quite able to kind of close down. You see here Ella Cusack working as hard as she can. Ball goes into the corner. I think that's really, really unlucky. I can't quite see. I think it's Jane Kilpatrick there, tries to make the tackle, and the umpire just forced to upgrade that.
So, with the clock continuing to run, this may be the last action of the entire game. Is it going to be a Beeston win, or are University of Nottingham going to find an equaliser? There's only one way to find out. Stick with BTV. Delivery's not the best, however it's still there. It comes across the pads, and that's being turned in for the equalising goal in the final minute of the game. Unbelievable climax. The ball trickling over the line for the equalising goal. However, the umpires look like they're going to have a discussion about things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was really, really unlucky on the Beeston girls there. I think Steph Tyrrell did everything she could. Maybe she potentially saw that a little bit late. She's done well to get her body behind it, and it's just ricocheted off her pads there.
So what are the players querying, do you think?
I couldn't quite see any infringements. I think they're trying to refer it and kind of check actually if there was potentially any obstruction, any third party potentially. I don't think there was any stick tackles, any feet involved. For me, they'd have to be questioning the obstruction.
If you're new to the sport of hockey, it's there confirmed as a goal. I was about to say the goal can be overturned until play restarts, and the goal's been confirmed. It's just unfortunate with the ball creeping over the line.
Yeah, we could see there was nobody in the way of the line, so no obstruction there. It was just a really unfortunate ricochet.
Seconds left. Can Beeston get the ball into the circle? They've got a free hit here, piling everybody forward. That's not going to help things. Beeston will come again with the ball, but that is that remarkable end to the game. And once again, I'm going to put my hat on and say I knew there was another opportunity coming from somewhere, and one did arise. University of Nottingham equalising with one of the final touches of the game from a penalty corner. We're having a look in the review box now to see if there's anything in there. Not that it'll change the result, of course, but we're having a look with the pictures available to us. So it'll go down in the history books as the first points on the board for University of Nottingham. They'll take the arduous journey back over the car park with a point in hand. Beeston 2, University of Nottingham 2. Beeston went 2 goals in the lead through Lauren Burrell and Rosie Stevens on 40 and 53 minutes. Maddie Axford pulling one back on 57. Great finish for the first goal in the division for University of Nottingham. And then with a final touch of the game. By the way, we're just looking at live pictures. Here we go. Well, Knobloch, who's the accredited as the goal scorer. I thought for a moment we were looking at the a potential infringement on the video, but it's just identifying the goal scorer. So it's Beeston 2, University of Nottingham 2. What do we take away from that, Jake Reed?
I think Beeston can be proud of their first half performance and how they started in the second half. I think you and I were sat here thinking the same thing, Andy. The game just looked like it was opening up a little bit. Tired legs. University of Nottingham, that's where they're always going to thrive, in that second half. They're a typical university side, and they're going to push you until the 70th minute, and unfortunately that's what they did. But the girls can be proud of their performance today, and they'll go into training. I know they'll tighten up some defensive work, and they'll put it right next week, I'm sure.
Mentioning next week, it's a trip to Buckingham next weekend at midday, if you're heading down for that match. And then Beeston women host Reading here, officially at midnight. But I'm sure that will change in due course. The information available on the website says it's midnight. But it's Beeston Reading at the weekend of the 8th of October. Beeston men are here on BTV next weekend following their away trip, which is at Oxford tomorrow. Again, we're looking forward to that, and also the men getting in their season underway. Then it's Beeston's men versus Reading on the 2nd of October. That one is 2 o'clock on BTV. If it's about a fraction of the excitement and drama we've had in that game, we're in for a good game indeed. So, thank you, Jake Reed. Thanks for your summary. It's heartbreak at the death for Beeston, but delight at the denouement for University of Nottingham. 2-2 is the final score. Jake Reed, Andy Day here at BTV. Many thanks again to our headline sponsor, the Magical Mushroom Company. They're providers of sustainable packaging in mycelium. Look for them online, the Magical Mushroom Company. This has been BTV. It's been a pleasure bringing you the